Hey everybody, happy April 23rd. This is I'm doing a video, recovery day 21. I promised everybody that I wouldn't do any updates for a week, but a lot has happened, so I thought I'd do a quick little video rather than sit and type it out on Facebook or anything. Fun week. So for those of you who have followed me, first of all, there's a bunch of people that have reached out to me and said that they're either about ready to have right hip replacement or left hip replacement, one or the other, or they're having it very shortly, or they know they're going to have it in the next year. So they've been intently kind of reading this or watching to see what I'm doing and how I'm doing, to give themselves an idea what they're up against. So thanks for those of you that have reached out. That's meant a lot. I appreciate you following, and hopefully this helps you a little bit. So a week ago, I had 3 quick goals. Goal number 1 is walk without assistance. Not something you just do on your own. They'll tell you don't walk without assistance, whether that be a cane or a crutch or whatever, until you can walk without assistance, without a limp. So I can tell you that when I'm feeling good, I don't have a lot of inflammation, I'm icing myself down, I can walk very normally, really without much of a noticeable limp at all. When I'm tired, when I've been out doing other stuff, a little bit of a limp, but not bad at all. But got off of that last Friday, so excited about that. Goal number 2 was, my wife has been an absolute rock star, not only with all of her own duties that she's had, but she's been my personal chauffeur, my personal Uber driver. It's one thing to ask her just to drive you to the office when she's going to the office, but it's another thing to ask her to get you to a board meeting at 7 o'clock in the morning, etc. I really wanted to get driving again, and so not something you do on your own. You don't just go say I'm going to go drive. You really have to get cleared by either your doctor, or in this case, my doctor deferred to physical therapy. Therapy on Thursday went ahead and approved me over the weekend. Take a quick drive around your neighborhood, drive around a parking lot, someplace safe, and give it an idea of how that's going to go before you make a determination. Went well, so I would say I've driven to work the last 2 days, and actually today had a meeting down in Albany that went very well. So big difference between city driving and highway driving, right? When you are in the city, it is gas, brake, and much more difficult on your hip, to be frank. So I don't know that I'm going to drive around town, or you should drive around town when you first get in for the first week or two, more than 5 or 10 minutes. Highway seems to be okay. Get in the slow lane, hit it at 65, put your speed control on, rest your leg. I will tell you that I have ice bag with me in the car. I had it all the way down to Albany and back on my leg, and I feel great. Lastly, is I wanted to do a little chipping and putting, and was able to do that successfully on Saturday, which is great. 5 minutes of putting, 5 minutes of chipping out at the golf course, felt great. So update wise, I'm walking about 1.5 miles a day. That'll go to 2 miles next week. That's what the therapist wants us to do. There's a big difference fine line between doing too little physical therapy and doing too much. I would defer to doing a little bit too much. I've had 2 days where it's kind of shut me down, and I've not been able to do anything and just iced myself down, but I've come back stronger, less pain, so on and so forth. I know a lot of people that had, one person specifically I've been talking to, that had their hip done the day after mine, and in talking to her yesterday, she's still a ways away from driving, and so on and so forth. If you're going to have this done, if you qualify, definitely have an anterior approach versus a posterior approach. Anterior goes in through the front of the leg, posterior's back through the back, basically through your butt, be frank. Much more invasive going from back behind. So super happy that I did the anterior. If you are going to have this procedure done, I couldn't give Dr. Mark Dolan at Hope Orthopedic or Hope Orthopedic any better grades than I'm giving them, because 5 stars across the board. They've just all been fantastic. So again, surgery was April 2nd. Little background: walked with a walker for 6 days, moved from walker to a single crutch for probably another 2 weeks almost, and at day 17 was able to abandon the crutch and am walking without it at this point in time. Biggest suggestion I can give anybody looking to do this is get your butt in shape before you go in, because it will help your recovery dramatically. I was doing physical therapy for a good 6 weeks, maybe a little bit more, prior to surgery, get your upper body stronger, helps you get up and down out of chairs, bathroom situations, all that kind of stuff, and it will help your muscles come back quicker. Little things that you take for granted after surgery. Work on your flexibility. The ability to put a sock on is huge. That just happened to me in the last week. Be able to put your sock and a shoe on and tie your shoe. Sounds stupid, you take it for granted, but you can't do it after hip surgery. So work hard at it, stretch, and it'll come to you. And I would tell you at this point in 3 weeks, I'm doing 85 to 90% of the stuff I was doing prior to surgery. So still stiff, still sore, expecting the next few weeks to be, that's going to be the major bonus, is I think a lot of that stiffness and soreness is going to be gone. But the hip pain I had before is gone, and just really working on the incision side at this point in time. So that's it. I hope you have a good day. If you have any questions, let me know. Take care of yourself. Bye.